Okay, it says I'm live and recording. So this is a video made and released first to my Patreon audience, of course, maybe only ever to the Patreon audience. We'll see. So far, I haven't released anything from here onto YouTube. But right now, a big thing that I'm doing for the month of October, it is Internet Security Month. And so I haven't provided a lesson on anything in a while. So thought I would share a lesson on. For Internet Security Month, I had a big security company hire me to do a bunch of shows and lectures for major companies about internet security, particularly personal data sharing and what's called social engineering. And so this is a lesson on those two things, so I can share with you. You don't get the benefit of the full show with the mind reading pieces and all of that, but I've been doing this for Mass Mutual and Chase and Morgan Stanley and all these the office of the president of the University of California, and all these major companies, dozens of them. And so I have a regular Zoom show. And then in the middle of doing pieces of magic and mind reading, I then start revealing all sorts of psychic things that would be impossible for me to know about different audience members. And so I reveal what their bank account is, what phone service they're with, what their home looks like, what they see out their windows at home, the name of their parents, of their dogs, of their children, where they ate for dinner yesterday, this sort of secretive information, what their memories from when they were in college or grade school or even junior high and high school information. And it's been particularly difficult because these are all individuals who are working in the world of internet security. So I want to share with you how it is I'm getting this information and what it is I'm doing. Ah, behind the curtain, because that's also what I'm doing a bit for them as well. So for each of these shows, I'm given a list of six individuals who work for the company. And all I'm given is their first name, their last name, and what company they work for. Now, it would be a lot easier if I was also given their address, their age, their birthday, their email address, any of this stuff, because I've had some trouble a couple of times if I have somebody named Tom Smith who lives in San Francisco and works in the tech industry. Right? I've had a few times where it's been 7 or 8 people that it could be, but that's why I get six names so that I can research four of them. I have on one occasion had a company that was confused about the request, and they gave me six names of children of employees. Well, that made it much more difficult. Still found some information, but this is the journey. I first look up the people based on their name and their company that they work for on LinkedIn, because in the corporate world, people put a lot of information on LinkedIn. Now, if I just list the stuff that they say about themselves on LinkedIn, well, they're going to remember that information and they're going to say to me, well, you just pulled that off my LinkedIn page. However, if I go into the reviews that people have given for them, people often give reviews with pieces of personal information that people don't remember what people said about them or reviewed. Oh, it was so great seeing you in Atlanta when we hung out at the such and such bar, right? What's even more is the reviews that they give to other people. And we can find bits of information in there about the words and language they use. If everyone reviews you as being this ray of sunshine, and you review everyone else for their competency in technology, that tells me what you see as valuable and what others see as valuable in you. Next, I look through their activity log on their LinkedIn and I see everybody that they've ever commented on. It's amazing what I've been able to find. I found one chief information security officer who there was nothing about him on the internet, absolutely nothing. But he once made a comment on a post to somebody with his same last name saying this would be a perfect job for you. I searched for her and I found her Facebook page that was very open. And there were pictures of them together and there was pictures of them traveling. And I even saw pictures of their church and inside of their church and inside their home and their dog and their children. And all this information suddenly came up, even though he had been unbelievably private. In the same way, the chief information security officer of another huge mega company, he was very, very private, nothing about him online until I found a review that he made on Yelp. He made a review on Yelp for a wedding officiant and a photographer at a wedding chapel in Vegas. So then from that I was able to find the pictures and the information about his wedding, the name of his wife. From the wife, I was able to find the Zillow listing of the house that they're currently in. And from that, I was able to describe every carpet, picture on the wall, clothing on the racks, bottles of wine in their wine racks, pictures that were on their refrigerator, everything in his home. So when we logged on together and he had on a fake background, so I couldn't see where he was and no one could, I was able to say to him, now walk into this room. Well, I can take down, and I lied to him and said, I can take down your background and I can see right through it. And he thought I was hacking and using this high end technology. No, I was using social engineering and I was describing the rooms that he was in. So then other individuals. So I start again with LinkedIn and look at that, look at the reviews, look at the comments people have made. From that, I can often find what their college is. If I have their university, if I have your university, and I see that you were someone that in university you were in student government, or you were a residence hall associate, or you were in a lot of clubs, or you were on that campus a lot. Well, now I know that most people get their first bank account when they are in college. And so, whatever bank is closest to your college, especially if you're someone that was actively involved in a lot of activities when you were getting your bachelor's degree, you probably get received a bank account from the bank near your college, especially if you're someone who graduated within the last 20 years of that college. And so when I say to people that, I say to them, so do you still bank at Chase? Yes, I do. And they're amazed at that knowledge. Now, the different credit cards and debit cards from different banks, there are consistencies of what the first four digits are in a Chase card, an America First card, a Wells Fargo card. So I can say the first four digits, and often those are the first four digits of that person's card. And then they think that I know all the digits of the card, even though I just have the first four. Wherever, if they graduated in just the last couple of years, they probably have a cell phone based on, or if I look at where they're currently living, I can see who has the best cell phone signal in that area. And they probably have a cell phone with that company because most people have it with whoever has the best cell phone service in that company. If I am able to find where they live or even a past residence where they live, I can look that up on Zillow and I can walk through their home and see through the home. If it's their if I find the last home they lived in, I can see all the furniture in their house. If I see the house they now live in, I can imagine where they put that old furniture in the new house, and I can describe that furniture in the new house, which seems impossible. If all I have is the listing of the current home that they're in with the old people's furniture, I can do a search on Google Maps and describe the houses nearby, see the decorations in their home, sometimes see their car and describe their car. Though on most of the cars now, they have the license plate blurted out, but sometimes I can get one letter or one number. And then I can peer through their windows of their house in those pictures and describe what they see out their bathroom window or what they see out their bedroom window and make them feel as if I've somehow been able to hack into the devices in their home to see out these things, even though that information is readily available with very little technical skill. And that's called, again, social engineering, where I make them feel as if I've done something far more technical and far more advanced than I've actually done. Excuse me. Now, with this, I then, when I've searched that, I've searched Facebook, I searched Twitter. You look back at things they posted a year ago or 2 years ago. But for many people that are in the security industry, this is very difficult to find this information. So I try and find their kids' stuff or their spouses or their parents or anyone else that might be less secure than they are. And then from that, that's a whole gateway in. I love when I can find a photo or two or maybe they checked in at a restaurant once before they changed their settings on Facebook and they don't know that that piece of information is publicly available. I love seeing when someone's reviewed something on Yelp or they've reviewed something on DoorDash or something else, and I take risks. I make assumptions. I sometimes will go, oh, I see they spent time in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So I look up Sao Paulo, Brazil, and I say, things to do in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And I can assume that if they went on vacation to Sao Paulo, they probably did some of those things. And so if I describe those things, they've said to me, how do you know that? I on my Instagram is secured. There's no way you can see me in front of that mural or on that bridge or in that restaurant. And so they again believe I've gone a different direction than I have. I have loved on a couple of occasions. I have been lucky enough to find people that I have mutual connections with. Just the other day, I had somebody who I had a mutual connection with, a Broadway actor who they had been in shows together. And this person who's now in the C-suite of her company did not has hidden everything about her past Broadway career and being Miss this in Miss America competitions. And the fact that I knew all these things that, as far as she knew, were impossible to know. I even found some pictures of her where people had commented about her being in this or that movie together, being back or on set or eating catering in this movie before, and things she thought were impossible for me to know. They weren't on a Internet Movie Database page or any of this. Because I am doing 50 of these shows this month, I am only giving myself 10 minutes per person to research them. And so I set a little timer and I have my 6 people. So that's 1 hour per show. That's 50 hours of research plus reset time and others. It's a lot of time. But I set a little timer and I give myself 10 minutes per person to research them. And this is the kind of information that I can pull in 10 minutes. And I then tell them, imagine if I was actually targeting you. If I decided that I wanted to spend an hour on you, or 6 hours on you, or days on you, if you were actually my target to try and get something or do something, if all of this is available in 10 minutes or less. I had one young woman say to me, how could you possibly know that I banked at Bank of America? Because there were 2 banks on our college campus, and I took a guess at one. And I said, because you just told me. Because I said to you, do you bank at Bank of America? And you went, yes. And then I said to you, and do your first 4 digits of your card start with this, this, and this? And you went, yes. You told me. You said yes. You gave me the affirmative on that. And imagine when of course, with these people that I can go on and we have mutual friends, or I can see their friends, or I know things about their friends. I've said to them, if I come into your office and I have a cell phone blocker on me, then I tell you the name of somebody that's dear to you, and I know things about you and them, and I tell you that they have sent me and you need to call them because they're in trouble. You might run out of your office the second your cell phone doesn't work to make that phone call and leave your computer open on your desk. I've let them know that a television show years ago asked me if I could bug someone's home. And I said, give me 3 chances to do this. And in all 3 chances, I walked up to the people's homes and I said, oh, I grew up in this town when I was a little boy, and this is the house I grew up in. And I haven't been here in 20 years. Is there any way I could see my old childhood bedroom? And 3 out of 3 homeowners allowed me into their home to walk upstairs to a bedroom where I could leave something to bug the house. And so it's amazing where our vulnerabilities are with things like social engineering, where I can come up to someone and say, I had this with a young woman the other day, again, someone in a director level position, where I said to her, when we were kids, we went to the same grade school, remember? And she said, I don't remember you. I said, sure you do. We were the Pirates. And she said, well, yes, we were the Pirates. I said, no, but we were in a racer club together. And she said, what? Where we took our erasers and we drew faces on them and we made stories about them and we traded them? And she said, what? I said, I was only in school with you for about 2 months, but I remember that. Don't you remember me? And she had no memory of ever posting about that. But when she was in grade school, one of her school bulletins posted about it, and that newsletter was still available on the internet all these years later. She had changed her first name and her last name, but on her LinkedIn page, she had listed clubs that she was in a small college that she was in and the years she was in them. I went and found those old clubs, their pages on Facebook, found pictures of her that matched her LinkedIn page. I was able to see what her real name was. From that, I was able to know about piercings she had, tattoos she had. I've had lots of people that I can describe their earrings, their watches, their tattoos on their body, their necklaces that they wear underneath their shirts by finding this information. And a social engineer, as opposed to a physical hacker, is someone that uses these pieces of information to gain confidence, like what's called a con man, a confidence man. Con and con man is confidence, that they come up to you with confidence and pretend they are your friend, or pretend they know your mom, or pretend they know your kids, or they go to the same church as you, or they went to the same school, and they share information in order to gain that attention. As you've seen on some of my past lectures, I talk about the Dunbar number, created by physical anthropologist Robin Dunbar, who said that our brain can only retain 3 to 5,000 people. So as we add new friends or new people in our lives, or new celebrities we study, or new uh, actors that we feel attached to, we slough off other people that disappear. That's why when we go to a high school reunion, there are people we don't remember who we used to see every day, but they may remember us because we are still part of their 3 to 5,000, but they are no longer part of our 3 to 5,000 people, right? So, in the same way, we can convince someone that I'm one of those people who used to know you, and I give all these bits of information. We used to go to this bar together. We used to remember I was there at so and so's birthday party or bat mitzvah, or right, whatever piece of information we did the such and such hike together that everybody at that university does. And and with that, you're able to gain a confidence that allows you to break through that mold and know all sorts of things about a person. And so, with just 10 minutes per person with research, even people that are spend their entire lives doing internet security and teaching others how to be more secure, people that have worked very hard to have internet security and this stuff hidden, even they are surprised with what it is that someone who's not hacking, who's not, it's not like I'm a police officer going through somebody's police scan information. It's not like I'm actually hacking in, that I'm actually researching, that I'm able to reach out. Only in a couple of occasions have I been able to call a mutual friend and say, we're both connected to this person. Tell me what you know. Give me things that are impossible to know. Uh, but with that, all of us are connected. We used to say 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. The new research says all of us are connected to every other human being on Earth in 6 degrees or less. And the truth is, every human being in the United States, if we're both in the United States and in the same age range and in the same part of the continent or the same industry, we're more like connected by 3 or 4 people away. It's amazing how closely we are all connected in this world today, and how quickly we can find that information. So, what's the point of all of this? The point of all of this is to be one, if you're a magician or mentalist, this is something you could use to show that you're psychic. Um, uh, but more importantly, for the rest of us, just because someone knows things about our past, knows things about us that no one else could know, um, we shouldn't confirm that information. We shouldn't trust that those people have good intentions. We shouldn't trust that they actually know those things, or they were in those places, or that they know the people that they say they know, or that certain people need our help. Lately, there have been a lot of people online that have been falling for a scam where someone hacks someone's page and pretends to be that person, and then writes to their closest friends by searching who they're close with, and says, I'm in trouble, I need help, send some money. Um, and so I just want people to be aware of some of these techniques that are used by social engineers, social hackers that are hacking our personal data in a way that is hard to secure against because we are so open and we share so much information on the internet that the only way we can really be secure is just be aware when something doesn't feel right or doesn't seem right. It probably isn't. So this has just been a short lesson on social engineering and personal data hacking. If you have more questions about it, how I go about it, or how to protect yourself from it, I'd love to chat about it. Write in the comments down below. And thank you for supporting me on Patreon here at patreon.com/Paul Draper. Bye.